Hello and good morning friends. This is Rupesh Kumar. Once again welcome you to the session of 600 plus confusing English words. So let's begin. With the session words we have here ago, back and before. Ago and back are used for the past times from the present moment. If we talk about past time from the present moment, we can use ago and back. Examples are I graduated from high school 10 years ago. Here 10 years in the past form from today. So for the past form from today, from present moment, we use ago and back. Now next example we move on. We have sentence we sent the package 3 days ago. We sent the package 3 days ago. It means that 3 days in the past from today we sent the package. Now if we take an example from back, just see. I moved here about 5 years back. What? I moved here about 5 years back. Here back is used in informal way and 5 years in the past from today. So back and ago both are used for the past from today or for present time. Back is used in both. No, back is used in informal language mostly, and ago is used in both language, formal and informal. Now we have before and earlier. Before and earlier are used for past time from another time in the past. What? Before and earlier are used for past times from another time in the past. Here are some examples. Yesterday I missed my train. This is in past. I got the train station at 7:10. But I got the train station at 7:10. This is also in we talking about past, but the train had left 10 minutes before. This is talking about past or past. So before are used from another time in the past, I mean past of past. Here we have we have next example. I was very happy when I got this job last January because I got this job last January. This is also in past. Okay, and next we have a phrase because I had lost my previous job 6 months before. This is also in past. So here I had lost my previous job 6 months before. So here we use before and earlier for the past times from another time in the past. So we can see here that he is talking about 6 months before last January. He was very happy when he got this job last January. He was very happy when he got this job last January because he had lost his job previous job 6 months before. He got his job in January because he had lost his job in previously he was when he was doing job. After 6 months he got a new job. So before and earlier are used for past times from another time in the past. Now we have the words aid, assist and help. Generally there is no difference in meaning between these three words, but there are some slight differences in the way they fit in the sentence. In general there is no difference, but there are slight differences in the way they fit in the sentence. I mean, you can say there are many collocations used. Just see the example. Help is the most common and most informal word. Help is the most common and informal word. Aid and assistant both are formal. So it is more commonly used as a noun, not a verb. What I said, it is more commonly used as a noun, not a verb. So here we have a hearing aid. Here, a hearing aid is a small electronic device that helps people with hearing problems to hear better. So here it is used as a noun, hearing aid. First aid, here it is also used as a noun. First aid is the initial medical care given immediately after an accident or injury. Here we have the next sentence, government aid. Here this is also used as a noun, is official help from the government. And official help from the government is known as government aid. So we have many sentences like this. Humanitarian aid. What? Humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid is helping people who are suffering from a disaster or suffering from disease, poverty, or war. There is also a word aid, pronunciated the same way, which refers to a person whose task is to help, an assistant. What? ID, no? But pronunciated in the same way like aid. So an assistant can be aid, a nurse aid, a teacher's aid, a nurse aid, a teacher's aid, and there are many sentences can be made from this. And now let's look at the two verbs, what? Help and assist. After help we can use a verb with or without to. So let's wait. Here we have the sentence, he helped me understand the lesson. What? He helped me understand the lesson. It also means that we can write these things in another way, is he helped me to understand the lesson. There is no difference between the two. The two are same. Here help, we have used help without to, and here we have helped with to. So you can use these things. We have the next sentence, can you help us carry these books? Can you help us carry this book? It also can be written as, can you help us to carry this book? Here there is no common error in this sentence, so remember these things. But in everyday spoken English it is probably more common not to use to, but there is no error. You can use to with help and you can not use help with to. It depends upon you. Now let's look. After assist we must use in plus ing form of the verb or with plus noun. After assist we must use in plus ing form, before form of the verb or with plus noun. Now let's look at the sentence, I am happy to assist you in creating a website. What? I am happy to assist you in creating the website. Here we use assist with in plus ing form of verb. You can also write these things in, I am happy to assist you with your website. What? You can also write like, I am happy to assist you with your website. I mean that you can use assist with in plus ing form of verb or with plus noun. Here website is noun and with plus noun. Now move to the next sentence. This program assists people in finding a job. Here in plus v4 form is used, and we have the next sentence, this program assists people with their job search. Here we used with plus noun form. So you can use these things like. Now we move on to the next. Before moving to the next, uh, first we have a look here. The noun form of help is what? The noun form of help is help, but the noun form of assist is assistance. One should remember this. So now we have the sentence, thank you for your help. Here help is noun and thank you for your assistance. Assistance, what you write, what you say, it depends upon you. So thank you for your assistance. Here this is noun, and if you write thank you for your assistance, this is an error. I am so grateful for all the help I received from the team. Here help is noun, and we move to the next sentence. I am so grateful for all these assistance I have received from the team. There is no difference between these two sentences. As tense we use as tense in a formal language and help in informal mostly. So now we move to the next. We have aim, goal and objective. What we have? Aim, goal and objective. Many people use these words interchangeably. There is really very little difference between them. In everyday spoken English, the most common word is what? In everyday common used English, the most common word is goal. Aim and objective are usually used in a formal writing. One small difference is that an objective is more specific than a goal. What? An objective is more specific than a goal. If we take example, we have example. Our goal is to improve health care for children. This is a general sentence. Our goal is to improve health care for children. This means that in general we want to improve health care for children. Our objective is to provide 10,000 children with vaccine specific. What? Our objective is to provide 10,000 children with vaccine. This is a specific, more specific than goal. So, and I said you before that objective is used in more formal writing. However, in casual conversation, most people would use goal for both general and specific thing. In common conversation, it can be used, and most people use these things also. Now we have the sentence, my goal is to lose weight. What your goal is? What my goal is? My goal is to lose weight. My goal is to lose 20 pounds by the summer. So the words goal and objective are nouns, and word aim can be noun or verb. Aim can be used as a noun and verb both, but goal and objective can be used only as a noun. So we have the sentence, the aim of this project is to increase our students' motivation. Here aim is used as a noun. What? Here aim is used as a noun, and we have the next sentence, we are aiming to increase our students' motivation. What? We are aiming to increase our students' motivation. Here aiming. Here aim is used as a verb. So aim can be used as a noun or verb both, but the goal and objective can be used as noun only. And you can use goal and use goal in both formal and informal language, but if you want to be more specific, you have to use objective. Now we have the word alien, foreigner and stranger. A stranger is a person you don't know. What? A stranger is a person you don't know. When I was a child, my mother taught me not to get into a car with a stranger. What? Her mother taught him that not to get into a car with a stranger. So here a stranger means the person you don't know or something you don't know, maybe a stranger. We have a sentence, when my car broke, a kind stranger stopped to help me. When my car broke down, a kind stranger stopped to help me. So stranger is used as a stranger is used for a person you don't know. And we have foreigner. Foreigner is someone who comes from another country. Foreigner is someone who comes from another country. Just we have, this town is popular tourist destination, so there are always a lot of foreigners around. What I say, foreigner is someone who comes from another country, and a stranger can be anyone who I don't know. So we have the sentence, this town is popular tourist destination, so there are always a lot of foreigners around. We have next sentence, the new law makes it easier for foreigners to get document to work legally. So here we are talking about foreigners means person from another country. A lot of foreigners have been moving to this neighborhood. I have met people from 7 different countries in my apartment building alone. What? A lot of foreigners have been moving into this neighborhood. He is talking about foreigners means person from another country is moving to his neighborhood. So he met people from 7 different countries in his apartment alone. Here we have the word alien. What? We have the word alien. You know friends, alien is a legal term for foreigner. What? Alien is a legal term for foreigner. It is usually used to describe illegal aliens. What? It is usually used to describe illegal aliens. It means that people who are in the country illegally, or resident aliens. If we talk about residence aliens, it means that people who are living in the country legally. So we have the word alien. An alien is a legal term for foreigner. So if we use illegal aliens, it means that people who are in the country illegally without any proper documentation. So alien also refers to the creatures from other planets. It is another word for the extraterrestrial. Like this is a picture. Now we have the word alive, life and life. Sorry, we have the word alive, life and live. What's the difference? This is alive, this is live, and that one. Which one? That one. This is life. So the verb live means to reside. The verb live. Here live is sound as live as a verb. When live is used as a verb, then we pronunciate live. So here it means reside. We have an example. I live in a small house. Here live is a verb. She lives in France. Here live is a verb. So the exact adjective. So the adjective live. So the adjective live. Here live. When live is used as an adjective, we pronounce live. So when a music or TV broadcast is happening in real time, it means it was not previously recorded. So when music or TV broadcast is happening in real time, then we use what? Then we use live. Here live is an adjective. So we have sentence, there is live music at the bar on Friday's night. So we have sentence, there is live music at the bar on Friday nights. Your next sentence, we are bringing you to the latest news live from Washington DC. It means that the news was not previously recorded. This is happening in the real time. So when an animal is alive, not dead, we use live. He found a live snake in his tent. We use live as a happening in real time. We use live also when something creatures is alive, not dead. Like he found a live snake in his tent. The word life, the word life is also pronunciated with I in like and is a noun. So I am reading a book about the life of Albert Einstein. Do you think there is life on another planets? He has faced many difficulties in his life. And now the plural of life is lives. What the plural of life is? Lives. What the plural of life is? Lives. So we have sentence, my parents are planning to live in Florida and list for the rest of their lives. Here life is used in its plural form. We have the next sentence, thousands of lives. What the life? The number of life is thousands, many. So here we use plural of life. We have thousands of lives were lost in the war. So the word alive is an adjective. The word alive is an adjective and it also means not dead. We have used before. We have used live. What? Live. We have used before. And now we are using alive as an adjective. Means not dead. It is amazing. He was still alive after being in the desert without water for 4 days. It's really very amazing that how he was still alive after being in the desert without water for 4 days. The oldest person alive is currently 124 years old. The oldest person alive is currently 124 years old. It means it is saying that the oldest person who is living now, who is currently 124 years old. And here I had also told you that we use live when an animal is alive, not dead. When an animal, we are talking about animal. When an animal is alive, not dead, we can use live. Like he found a live snake in his tent. And here I told you that I told you about alive. What I told you about alive. The word alive is an adjective. It means not dead and it can be used with anything. So we have a sentence like, it is amazing he was still alive after being in the desert without water for 4 days. The oldest person alive is currently 124 years old. Now we have already and yet. Both yet and already are used with present perfect tense. What? Already and yet are used with the present perfect tense. Already is usually used in positive sentence also. Yet is usually used in questions and negative sentence, but already is usually used in positive sentence and yet. So imagine that you and your friends are going to travel you and your friends what are going to travel. There are many things to do, and you ask your friend if he has gone these things. So you ask your friend, have you bought the tickets yet? Have you arranged a taxi yet? Have you packed all the bags yet? So in all the examples, use yet at the end of question. Your friend might answer. So yet are generally used in the end of sentence, and yet is usually used in question and oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. Meet you shortly. Thanks. Thank you.